the map rightly points out, we are located in the north part of Texas area, which is in Dallas-Fort Worth area in Denton City. There are three top cities of Texas state. One is Austin, which is the capital of Texas. The second is Houston, which is where obviously we all know Houston because it's very popular because of NASA. The third most popular place of Texas is the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth, which is where our university is located. Dallas is quite well known for a lot of aspects which we will discuss in the presentation moving forward. About University of North Texas. Here in India also we understand the difference between a private university and a public university really well. University of North Texas is a public university, is a research university, and the difference is that the private universities are rather more expensive than a public university, not just in India but everywhere across the globe. So UNT's fee structure will be very affordable. Besides that, we are funded by the government, so there are a lot of research opportunities also. I'm sure since you all are engineers, you know how important research is as a factor in your entire 4 years of degree. You do a lot of projects, internships, you have to go through a lot of project submissions and live projects which you all do basically. There are many competitions as well that I'm sure you all take part in. So for engineers, research is a part and parcel of their entire 4 years of career duration of their studies. And thus, being a public research university, University of North Texas is a Carnegie classified Tier 1 public research university. Now, there are many rankings, not just for Indian universities, but also for all the universities across US and across the globe. Carnegie Tier 1, Carnegie classification is a ranking that is being given to research institutions, and Tier 1 is only given to 115 universities in the entire US. This is where our union building is, where most of the students usually come and spend their time. When I have to talk about how to choose where to go in the US. Now, just like India, US also is a very widespread country. It's even more broad, more states, 50 states are huge, obviously. So how do you decide? One aspect is going to be the climatic conditions, because we have been brought up in a tropical climate. Obviously, when I have to go to Kashmir, I will definitely enjoy when it's a vacation, but I can't really stay and survive over there because obviously we are not very feasible. We are not made like we have not been brought up in such a climatic condition. So climate becomes one of the most important factors as well when you decide a university. I get a lot of students who get in touch with me who were studying in the very cold region, which means Boston, New York, New Jersey, who get in touch with me stating that I'm able to focus on my studies, I get sick here, and many other reasons, and they want to come to the southern part of the US, which is hot and dry as the map clearly states. Dallas-Fort Worth area, if I have to say about DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth area is definitely gaining popularity in IT industry. We are now amongst the top 3 places which are expanding in the IT industry. However, we are also very popular for our oil and gas industries. Texas is a hot and a dry state, which makes us very much feasible for oil, gas industries, manufacturing industries, for being able to set up their manufacturing units in Texas. Besides that, also we are having a huge airport. I'm sure a lot of students know JFK, because that's like one of the most one of the first airports that comes to anybody's mind when they plan to travel to the US. Similarly, DFW area has Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, which is the 4th largest airport in the US. This is one of the most important distribution hubs When I say distribution hubs, it does imposes a lot of impact on the supply chain and management. Now, if there are mechanical engineering students here in this session, you definitely understand the meaning of supply chain. And a lot of you are also very much interested in getting into supply chain in the future. So I'd also definitely like to tell you that any Samsung mobile that comes into the US actually comes from the DFW airport. And we all know how popular Samsung is here in India. I definitely have one Samsung mobile, so I'm sure that a lot of people will have Samsung mobiles at their home. And it's a very popular brand. It's like present in every house. So we have a lot of we are actually a very widespread distribution hub and a very important distribution hub of US. Moving forward, I definitely want to tell you all this is because 50 states now, when Narendra Modi ji had to decide amongst all of these states, he decided to come to Texas. There must be a reason why he did that, and the reason is definitely the relationship building that he wanted to do with Texas, with the US. Thus, we have a very strong relationship with India and Texas and between India and US. We are a university where there are many students who come from various countries. We are multicultural, multi-diversal university, so we are having a very diversified culture. Students from more than 130 countries are studying at UNT. The total student strength is 39,000 students. This itself says how big of a university that we are, and there are more than 4,000 international students. And if I have to just tell about India, there are more than 500 students currently studying at UNT who are from India. This is just a glimpse of the spring party, which they say as welcome party for the spring students, which happened before the pandemic happened really. So it was in the month of January. These are all the new students who joined in the spring semester, which was January session. Now, as we were discussing about studies abroad, I definitely mentioned that I'll talk to you why you should choose US. So this is the reason why you should choose US. US will give you world's most recognized degrees. We all know if you study in any US university, you definitely will be able to get a very good you'll be a globally recognized student, because US universities come to the American education that they follow is very unique. The pattern is very unique. I'm sure Mr. Kamendra has studied in the UK, and I'm not saying that any other places are not good. I'm just saying that if you compare a degree from US, compare a degree from US, you are definitely you're having one of the world's best education that you can attain. Also, it gives you the access to one of the most leading universities across the world. US has more than 5,000 universities. Obviously, India has a lot of universities as well. So you will say, why should I go to US? Is because US has more than 5,000 universities which are very, very well ranked. We have here IITs and NIITs. I'm sure everyone's dream is to get into an IIT. And we also have an IIT in here. Mr. Pandey has introduced us. So we all know how tough it is to get into an IIT. But it is not as tough as to get into a US university because there are many options available for you. In India, I can certainly say my parents might have studied the same books that I did. This is just a joke, but the gist of this line is that the curriculums are not revised a lot of times in India. However, in US, curriculums are updated on a very regular basis. Besides, you are given a full flexibility to choose what you would like to study. So even if you start into a program which was masters in computer science, you might as well have an opportunity to pick something from the College of Business, which is not possible here in India. in India, you are also given what are you going to study in your electives. I studied here in India, and that's why I can definitely tell you that the Indian education system is a very binded education system. We are given what we should study, and we study those and graduate out of the university. But in US, your curriculum will be very flexible. If you have any specific interests, you will be able to get that. Now, on the same note, I can say, even though you are all engineers, you all must be not from a similar background. We might have computer science students over here, we might have mechanical students over here, civil engineering students, electronics and telecommunication, electronics and computers, etc. So if say for an example, a mechanical engineering student wants to know more about virtual reality, wants to know more about artificial intelligence, which is like the most important term now, which is the most important part of their program right now, because we are living in a world of artificial intelligence. So in India, you will not be able to take that as a part of your studies, but in the US, you will be able to take that as a part of your studies, even though if you do not choose one of the top ranked universities or Ivy League universities like IITs here in India. Coming to the sports. Now this was all about academics. Now what about sports? In India, we do not recognize sports a lot. Even I am not very good with sports because I never really got an opportunity to play anything. But if I had got an opportunity, I was definitely interested in a lot of sports that I learned elsewhere, not in my school. So in US, we also impose a very strong recognition towards sports and all the cultural activities. We have a very big recreation center, a gym, a big a lot of sports activities will be available in the recreation center. We have soccer, football, cricket as well. So US universities also come with a lot of emphasis on sports. Now, we can't really miss out when we talk about US. We can't miss out about talking about Trump. We all know Trump administration is definitely a circus, I can say, and we all are very ashamed of what he does to all of the students across the globe. Trump is basically a Twitter man. Whatever he has to say, he will go on Twitter. But rest assured, we have a very big legislative system behind him. In India, if Narendra Modi ji says anything, that's set in stone and will be definitely taken into consideration. However, behind Trump, there is a big, there's definitely a lot of a big parliament. There are a lot of senates who need to approve all those rules. Very recently, on July 6th, Trump actually came up with a notification saying that any student who is currently studying in the United States, who is staying in the United States, is if he is taking the classes completely online, you can't stay in the US and you need to leave the country at the immediate notice. But there were a lot of universities like Harvard, MIT, UCs, even UNT has joined them, and we made an appeal. We signed a petition, and very soon, within 5 days, this order was revoked, and all the students who can take their classes even now online for the fall semester. So there were a lot of changes that we definitely see in the Trump administration. It's the last year and few more months to go for the Trump administration in the US, and we're definitely looking forward to November. Then anytime before this year, we're really looking forward to November to come very soon, and we'll see what really happens after that. But Trump administration, rest assured, if he makes a decision, there is a big parliament who is going to go against that decision. And when I gave this example of such a big order and law getting revoked, rescinded, it's actually a proof that people do not keep quiet when he says anything that he wants to. A lot of people definitely are studying in the US, have studied in the US, have graduated and are working. Some are even green card holders. Parents and families are also settled there in the US. Those are definitely the people who give you a lot of advices. I don't say all the advices that they give are wrong, but sometimes they will try and give you certain advices which will not be suitable for the current timeline. Say we are in a world where now artificial intelligence, business analytics, data science, these are more important degrees than your cliche degrees, that your old degrees like computer science, computer engineering. Those are also very important, but there are also new programs that students should be interested in. Those programs are made because the industry needs those students to come out and be able to join the workforce. So we have a lot of people who already study over there, who stay over there, who give a lot of advices to the students, and those we call as cousin wish. I would definitely want to point this out. This was from my recent session, which I did with my current offer holder students. So, should I start my studies on campus or online? Will the courses be cheaper online? Yes, the courses will definitely be cheaper. In US, you have something called as curriculum practical training. Now, a lot of students know why US is a destination to go and study abroad is because it comes with a lot of practical exposure. In India, I don't want to, obviously talk anything bad about the Indian education system. I have studied myself in Pune University, but if I have to compare, obviously the practical exposure that I got was very, very limited, wherein I only did a project which also I copied from the internet. I visited certain industries, but I really didn't do a lot of my homework there, and I copy pasted from the internet. But in the US, that's a strict no. You can't do plagiarism is strictly a big no. You can't copy paste. So practical exposure is a very big, of utmost importance when it comes to US education system. There is also something called as OPT, which is you getting a 3 years of post-study work visa, 3 years of internship, 3 years of allowance to do your work outside of your college, outside of your studies, in your area of interest. That really makes a lot of difference because you get to work in one of the world's biggest companies. You get a lot of exposure, and you can also return to your country after that or continue working there as well. Students do ask, and I'm sure you are a lot of students who are still pursuing, so this is not for you. Should I start online or defer to spring? What if I do not get a visa for spring? Should I go to Canada instead? This I can definitely talk about. Should I go to Canada instead, or should I go to Australia instead, or should I go to UK instead? So why you shouldn't go to Canada is because this is the clear map which says that US economy, Indian economy, and Canadian economy is a very different, is at very different level. US, you say anything, it's one of the world's biggest and the most strongest economies in the world, followed by many other countries. And India is now also reaching very close, thanks to Modi ji's efforts. But if I have to say about Canada, Canada is a very great country. They are just next to us, but we can't really forget that they're very cold, and that only few places are, like British Columbia or Toronto or Ontario, are where you'll be able to get a lot of job opportunities. In US, you can choose any state, any city, and you will definitely have a lot of job opportunities. This is another introduction to why, another detailing to why you shouldn't go to any other country but choose US, because you all are engineers. Uh, uh, Companies like Apple, Alphabet, Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, I don't really need to tell you who are the CEOs in these companies, and those are all Indians. And they do know, they do understand how important Indian students are who work with them. Even Sundar Pichai came out to speak about all the wrongdoings of Trump in the recent days. So these companies do not keep quiet when there is anything stated by the Trump administration. Also, these are the companies where people like you are more than welcomed to work. Also, US universities are one of the best universities, and this can be backed by the statement of being 50 among the top 50 universities. 18 US universities are ranked in the top 50. So this itself says how well established US or American education can be and can be beneficial for your career. About UNT, we are not just an engineering college. We are a very big university with more than 14 colleges spread across more than 900 acres of area. Obviously, a lot of part-time jobs are available with us, but these are the colleges that we have. So in US, you can take courses from any of these fields when you're studying even engineering. So if a student is interested in anything related to business or journalism, or even if content writing, right now everything is more digital. So if you want to learn more about business skills, leadership skills, or content writing skills, you will be able to do that because US universities are huge and they offer all of that under one roof, unlike most of the other places. UNT has all these opportunities available for international students as well. This, I do know it's like a lot of programs here, but then these are all the new programs that UNT already has started for fall session or even before that. So we are, as I was just mentioning, that universities in the US are very advanced in their curriculum updating and introducing new career options, new degrees. UNT also offers all these degrees which are in data science, artificial intelligence. If I have to talk about artificial intelligence masters, we are one of the only universities in the entire state of Texas, and very few US universities, I would say 7 universities in the US, which are offering a master's in artificial intelligence. So we definitely offer a lot of programs which are currently in line with the needs of the industry. And when you graduate out of these master's programs, you will have a lot of job opportunities as well. Um, Cost. Definitely one of the most important aspects of any student deciding to go and study abroad or anywhere here in India as well. So cost of you studying at UNT, if I have to compare, this map in itself is a very good comparison structure. So cost of studying at studying in UNT differs obviously state by state or city to city as well. If we compare studying, I can generalize stating that if you study in the northeastern part or if you study in the Bay areas, your cost of attendance is going to be much higher. But if you choose to study in central US or if you choose to study in the southern part of the US, you will have a lot of opportunities to reduce your fee structure to a lot of extent. The fee structure shown here is an average of undergraduate and graduate studies both. But if I have to talk just about graduate education, which is master's program, the fee structure is $16,000 approximately, and this is for 2 semesters, 1 year, annual tuition cost. And your living expenses, obviously you will stay off campus, so you can share your apartment with your roommate, or you can share your apartment with your roommate, or you can share your apartment with your roommate. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you choose to stay in your apartment, you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. So you will have a lot of opportunities to stay in your apartment. And if you cho apartment with your friends, and also a lot of students do that. So your cost will be $8,000 to $10,000 approximately, comparatively lower. And also, being a state university, we offer a lot of scholarships, a lot of assistantships to the students, where sorry, I think I got disconnected. I'm really sorry. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I got disconnected. I'm just starting over where we left, the admission entry requirements. In the US, obviously, you need to, one of the major admission requirement is going to be your GPA or of your current studies that you're already doing, which is your bachelor's percentage or GPA. Also, you are required to write GRE exams, which is competitive exam, and if also another exam is going to be your English proficiency exam, because India is not one of the English speaking countries, so you have to justify your English proficiency skills by either writing IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, or PTE. So these are general admission criteria. If you have any specific questions on admission criteria, please feel free to reach out to Mr. Kamindro or the entire InterAdvice team, and we will be glad to help you more in detail. Uh, Now I will skip 15 years of education point because all of you are engineers here, which means all of your degrees are 4 years, but UNT also accept 3 years of degrees. That's what the 15 years of education states. Fall 2020, which was our August intake, a lot of revisions were made. Everything was so different and so new to all of us. We made a lot of changes. A lot of our classes were started online, but now the campus has already started again. But very few students even now come to the campus because obviously the virus is still there in our lives. It's not gone. So everyone is trying to be very careful, very cautious. Even at UNT, we are distributing free masks, sanitizers, maintaining social distancing very much, and a lot of other, specific actions or counter actions that we have taken so that to reduce the spread of virus. For spring 2021, which is the intake that's next up, which is January. We have waivers for GRE, GMAT as well. So GRE or GMAT is not required if you apply in the spring session, which is January, and we're already accepting applications for that intake. Very recently now for the fall intake, which means the August intake, we say, start online, finish on campus, because now the embassies are closed. The flights are not, there are no flights that the students can travel. So the students can start online, pay a much lower amount of fees, and continue on campus from January onwards. This is what is stated in this slide. A lot of you all are planning for next year. I'm not sure, but if you all are planning for next year, then this is not for you. Next year will be very different. We will be in a little better position than we are now. And hopefully we will, all of you all will be able to start your studies on campus like normal that we had before the pandemic. Career center definitely is very important. In India, engineers get placed very differently. I know because I also am around engineers most of the times. So you all get placed through campus placements. In US also there are career fairs, there are placements, but we also have we do not get placements over there. You network with the companies, you network with the people, and you get opportunities to learn more about these companies so that you can go and interview them later on. Toyota is one of the biggest companies. Obviously, we all know that. It has recently moved their headquarters to Dallas Fort Worth area, which is a very big establishment for us. Toyota is not just into engineering, but also into a lot of other aspects. We all see cars are now much more ahead. Even now, I drive an automated car. If I had to drive like the normal, the older version of cars which were manual, I would not be able to do it because I am not somebody who has learned about gears. But now everything is artificial. I can park my car very easily. I do not get into a lot of accidents because of such innovations that has happened in companies like Toyota. These are few top companies which recruit from our campus on a very daily basis, like on a very regular basis. In all the intakes and all the semesters, a lot of our students are currently working in these companies. University of North Texas is a residential campus, which means we have student residences available. If you would like to stay on the campus itself, you will have an opportunity to book your room and stay with us as well on the campus. I would like to end my presentation here. This is my email ID, just in case anybody would like to know more about UNT. You can certainly get in touch with InterAdvice team, and we will also be glad to assist you for any further questions that you might have. Here, I'd like to conclude my presentation and would like to take all the questions that you have posted in the chat box. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Fareen. It was wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much.
Student, if you are having any question, you can ask to Farheen, and after her, we'll brief about what all documents are required and all, how to go ahead with the procedure. So I think there are certain questions in the chat box.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see the ones that were posted recently. One is, I'm willing to go to the US for my studies. What is the expected burden I have to bear, and what support will I get from the university? Mr. Nirmal Kumar Pandey, I'd definitely like to tell you that the cost will differ depending on what universities and what cities or areas that you pick, because every place will have a different fee structure, cost of living, and every university has a different fee structure as well. In Texas, I would like to tell you there is one benefit which comes in the phase of being in state or paying domestic fees. Now, international students and domestic students pay a very different tuition cost. Even here in India, international or NRI quotas that we call generally pay to a double or triple times the amount a normal student like us would pay here. Similarly, international students there pay more amounts than the domestic students. So in Texas, you also have a benefit. If you get a good GRE score, if you get a good percentage, you will be able to get the in-state tuition benefit, which reduces your cost up to 50%. Besides that, there are also a lot of other scholarship opportunities available with us, with UNT, and with most of the institutions, and could be between 10 to 50% of your fees, of your cost of attendance, cost of living, and tuition including. I would say if you would like to study at UNT, the cost would be roughly about $32,000 per annum, including everything. $32,000 is roughly about 21 lakhs. 22 lakhs, roughly about 22 lakhs per year, but this includes everything, even your stay. But I would like to tell you that when you go there, you also have part-time jobs. You can work 20 hours per week on the campus and reduce your cost of living. If we also have Rajiv asking us, in your presentation, you've mentioned about the part-time jobs in your universities. Can you please tell us about the part-time job details and what do we have to do to apply for them? So, University of North Texas has a portal called as Handshake for our students where you can apply for jobs, for part-time jobs. Part-time jobs can be one in dining facilities, in obviously dining, which means you as a admin manager or waiter, etc. as well. There, it's completely normal for anybody to get into these jobs. The other jobs on campus will include department related jobs. For an example, working in a department itself directly as a student worker, you also get that opportunity. So there are two types of jobs. You can apply for either of them as per your obviously availability one and as per your interest as well. Weber has a question: how is it a worth
Thank
decision to study abroad in this pandemic situation, irrespective of opportunities and facilities? Okay, Weber, that's a very good question. How worth this decision is, number one is that US universities, if I have to talk about, obviously that the kind of we are very much ahead of time in terms of the education curriculum that we offer. So if you have to choose, number one is the curriculum benefit that you will get. Obviously right now there are more jobs in these areas, in artificial intelligence and business analytics, cyber security, because now everything is virtual. Even I was a part of getting scammed, almost scammed, for through a cyber threat in this last couple of weeks. So we all know that there are a lot of cyber threats as well. And if you choose to study abroad, one of the major benefits is that the abroad healthcare system is much more advanced compared to the Indian education system, Indian healthcare system, and we all are very much seeing that in a daily basis. Now the healthcare system in India is burdened a lot. We all know the cases are increasing a lot because we are not being able to serve all these people properly. Our population is too high to be able to service them. So the opportunity, besides the opportunities and facilities, I can also say that the healthcare system in different countries is much more advanced than in India. That is a question, that is one of the answers. And also after 2 years of time, when things will start getting normal. This year is almost gone, everyone says it, and I also agree to it to a certain point, that this year is almost gone. We are at the mid of July, and the pandemic is still here. It will go maybe by September or October when the vaccine comes out, and it is almost December when after October we don't really know how fast the days go by. So from next year onwards, when the economy will start picking up, we all know US has a lot of facilities for you, a lot of job opportunities for you. A lot of companies, even from US, are here in India now, like Amazon. Google is building up its own setup. So if you graduate in a education system like US or any other country, when you return to your country after 2 years of time, your job opportunities will be very high. You will be very much in demand because of your advanced knowledge, advanced curriculum that you would come with. I hope that answers your question, Vaibhav. Um, Bharti, how did you pick your programs for students? Bharti, it completely depends on the students' interest. I do talk to the students if they have any specific concerns on on the program that they would like to choose. But most of the students already know. For an example, if you are into mechanical engineering, students know that they will either go into robotics, either into mechatronics, or either they will get into designing, which is CAD CAM, or they will get into manufacturing. Few students also from mechanical engineering get into data science, get into other aspects as well, if they have little knowledge about that industry. So when you start your undergraduate studies, you're already creating your route. You would not want to change your route again. So a lot of students already have in their mind what they want to do, and we talk to the students to decide what their area of interest. Even graduate advisors at our university, once the student goes, talk to them to decide the courses. How a person applies for different colleges, what are the criteria? So, Alizar, different colleges have different admission requirements, as I mentioned, as my slide stated that, at UNT engineering required XYZ GMAT. That was also a broad range. Specific programs have specific GRE, specific IELTS, etc. So each university has different admission criteria. You can definitely get in touch with the inter advice team and they will help you out in applying. You should apply at least 1 year in advance when you have to plan for US. So if you are planning for fall semester, which typically starts in August month, you should start from this August itself. You have to write a couple of exams. For that also you need to prepare, like GRE needs preparation, IELTS will need preparation. Then you will start your application. Various universities have various priority and final deadlines. Even UNT has various priority and final deadlines and extensions. So you should definitely start 1 year in advance when you plan to study in the US. Jayesh is asking what is valuable words to do MS from abroad universities or MTech from a reputed institution like IITs, NITs or CFTs. Jayesh, definitely I cannot really compare these two questions, two places, but MS is going to be more advanced in the US. But if at all you get into IITs and NITs, you already know half your burden is gone, because when you graduate out of an IIT, IITs are like a stamp which states your job is confirmed, you will receive one of the best packages in the industry, you will have one of the best job opportunities in the industry when you when you come out of IITs. So MTechs, if you can definitely compare yourself, if the MS versus MTech, if the MTech is also very much advanced in curriculum, you can definitely get into the MTech route or choose the MS. It will depend on what your particular aspirations are. But I can certainly say if you get into IITs, your life is very much set. IITs are very competitive to get into. So if you get that opportunity, you shouldn't really lose that as well. But you can compare the curriculum once before you take your own decision. Vivek has a question. What is the difference between study abroad and exchange program? So exchange program is like when you exchange one particular semester with a university. For an example, your institution allows you to go and study one semester at UNT. So that's the exchange program, where you're only exchanging the curriculum from your university with UNT's curriculum for one semester or 2 semesters. But study abroad means the entire degree is studied abroad, like a master's or an undergraduate degree as well. What is the, okay, I think Vivek's question was answered. We have Muskan asking, can you recommend any courses I should take before proceeding further with my job search? Muskan, I'll have to first understand what are you into. Are you into which background are you from in engineering? As an IT student, first is definitely development. That so if you are very good at coding, you should start with development, mobile development, apps development. uh, Definitely software development has very good job opportunities. There are also various facets now of IT. One is cloud computing, artificial intelligence, analytics nowadays. So you can get into a lot of aspects, obviously, as an IT student. Companies or industries, I think I will not be the right person to tell you about that, but somebody from here will be able to guide you for sure. I think we do not have any further questions that I can see, Mr. Kamendra. Anybody has any further questions?
No, thank you, Farin. All the questions are answered and very good questions student also asked.
Correct.
Thank you for your valuable time. Uh, I
Uh,
think, yeah,
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Mr. Kamendra, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Rajiv, for arranging the webinar. And if you want, if we're done here, then I will take your leave. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ma'am, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Yes,
so much, sir.
now see,
Farin,
ma'am is
thanks.
not here now. Ma'am, she left the webinar. Yeah. Now, see, basically, related to study abroad opportunities and career opportunities, basically, why students study abroad, there are many things. We speak with many people, many professional, many students, and we reach to certain conclusion. So few people are looking for very specific course, very specific subject, and those subjects or those facilities are not available in India. That's the reason they are willing to go abroad and complete the education, learn the technology, and then they willing to come back to India and start their career. Few students are there or professionals are there, they are saying we are not happy with the pay what we are getting and the treatment what we are getting in India. That's the reason we are willing to go abroad for the higher studies and settle down over there. Basically, friends, see, I'm giving you one example here why education abroad is required and how it is beneficial for us. You might have seen the fish which is in aquarium, and you might have seen the fish which is in sea. So the fish in aquarium, if goldfish you put in the aquarium, and if you observe the growth of that fish after 6 months, you will find very small growth, maybe in few centimeters or millimeters. But if the same fish you throw in the sea, and if you observe the growth of that fish, after 6 months, you will find, oh, it's grown like anything, even you cannot pull it out. So the goldfish growth is depends on the environment, what she is getting. So same thing is applicable for us, our growth, our not physical growth I'm talking about the mental growth, intellectual growth. It depends on what kind of environment we are getting. If you are studying in the classroom, you will get the limited knowledge. If you go out and if you implement, if you go for the industrial training, definitely that will help you to get more exposure and that will benefit, long lasting benefit in your career you will find. So what we are studying in India is fine. I'm not saying Indian education is very good, but at the same time, if you are going abroad and if you are studying over there, there are certain benefits like number one, the technology, advanced technology will get to learn. Second thing, the multicultural atmosphere, that experience you will get. So many people from different countries will come together. You will speak with them. You will find how they treat to each other, what is good according to their culture, what is bad according to their culture. And that's the reason what happened. Your personality will grow like a global personality. And tomorrow, if you are willing to go to, maybe if you're working in multinational company in India tomorrow, and if suddenly your boss is telling, oh, in Germany you have to go, and Berlin there is one project and you have to go and complete that, maybe for a couple of years you have to stay there. So there is no any hesitation. You will not think, oh, I need to think, I never been abroad and how are the people, so how I can cope up with that circumstances and that surrounding. So what happened, so this is the major benefit. You will be able to stand anywhere in the world. because of the exposure and experience what you are getting whenever you are going to abroad for the higher education. Second thing, as far as the curriculum is concerned, so curriculum is more advanced and more practical training you will get. And at the same time, all the students, not only international students, even local students, they are allowed to work while studying, so that they become mature, they manage their expenses, they learn many things, they go out, they deal with their own expenses, they deal with their jobs, they deal with all the problems they are facing while communicating with the people, while doing the job, while staying in the different apartments with different students. So they tackle all those problems, and there is what true growth happen. And that is another advantage of higher education in abroad. Again, one more thing, as far as jobs are concerned, and as far as Indian economy is concerned, like Farin told you, like say the economy of US is like very good. Then there are certain countries in Europe also, the economy is like very good economy and stable economy. But see, I'm telling at the same time, as far as the population of India is concerned, in the population, there are 65% people of age group is 35 years. So many youngsters are available in India. But if at another side, if we think about the industrialization and availability of the jobs, we have the skill, we have the manpower, physically and mentally fit students are available with us. But whenever we go to the job market, again, there is a setback. Many people, they are doing engineering, but working in sales and marketing. So true skill they cannot utilize. They cannot get work experience in their own core field. But at the same time, if you look forward in other part, so your skill is in high demand. Other countries require your skill. So why don't you go abroad? You take education maybe for 1 year, 2 year, whatever it is, you work there, so that what will happen? That is a win-win situation. You will get chance to work in your field. You will get chance to learn advanced technology. You will get chance to earn more. That money you will not spend totally in that country, although those money you will send more than 50% money you will send to the Indian banks. Indian banks will get foreign exchange, and that will give strength to our economy. And that's the reason what will happen tomorrow. The dollar will fall down and rupee will grow. So this is the magic we can do because we have the manpower. And abroad education is one of the best pathway to go to enter into different university to get a work permit, because anyhow whenever you are getting study visa, you are getting part-time work permit. At the same time, whenever you complete the program, you are getting many opportunities to work there. Even post-study work permit are available, and you can enter into the job market. You can work for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, maybe lifetime as you wish, but that money will help to your family, that will help to our country for the growth. So that is the reason. Main thing is exposure, and to get it, we are the people, we can help you. We are the mediator. We are having tie-up with more than 500 university in many countries like USA, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Germany, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Latvia, even in Caribbean, so many countries we are having tie-up, and we place successfully more than 2,000 students around the globe. And all these students are available. This is the network till now we are having. And whenever you are going there, definitely we can give you a couple of references, and those people will help you in getting job. Those people will help you in opening bank account. Those people will help you in getting tax number in that country. Those people will help you in finding accommodation. So here, what services we provide: complete guidance for your overseas education, how to select university, how to score more in GRE, where the GRE is required. If in USA, yes, GRE is required in most of the universities. But apart from the USA, if you are looking forward for UK, maybe for Australia, maybe for New Zealand, so many major countries, they don't require GRE. Second thing, your percentage. Somebody asks is how much percentage are required. It depends on the university and country. That is called GPA. So most of the universities, they accept 3.0 GPA. But even though if the GPA is 2.5, then also student can get admission and we can process the application. Whenever you come to us, definitely we'll guide you properly and we can give you the right choice, because many students, whenever they apply themselves, what happened, they're applying to 10 20 universities and they're spending about more than 1 lakh rupees only for the application fee. But here, whenever you come to us, we guarantee you that we will apply only for the 5 universities and we can give you admission at least in one university. So that is a benefit to take advice of the consultancy. Second thing, whenever you complete this application process and you are going for the visa, for all different countries, the funding requirement is different. See how to show the fund, whether it should be 6 months old, 3 months old, maybe they are accepting education loan or 50% education loan and 50% your savings. So all these different things we can explain you and 100% you will get visa. Again, your pickup, drop, your accommodation, everything will take care. And yes, last but not least, very, very important thing, whenever you complete your education, that time the point comes to, like, say, how to switch our study visa into the work permit. So there also, sitting in India, we can help you in converting your study visa into work permit. So all these facilities are available, and Mr. Ram Pandey is there and he's working and he's developing, he's reaching to maximum students, and it's like by the experience we sent many students and students are getting benefited. That's the reason Pandey sir is saying, sir, we need to reach to maximum number of students and we need to give this facility, avail these services to most of the students so that they can get benefit. So friends, if you are willing to take, like, say, any query, any question you are having, you can just send us the email or even you can write in the chat box. We'll revert back to you. And in future also, I think Rajiv sir is there or Pandey sir is there. You can share your questions with them and definitely will come to you. And whatever problems, whatever limitations you are having, you discuss the limitation rather than your plus point. Whatever minus points you are having, you discuss those. Definitely we can give the solution for those limitations and you can overcome. Anybody can go abroad and we can help them. In good university, good course you will get, how to select the university, how to select the country, how to select the course, for everything will guide you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Pandey sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Actually, students, we were actually discussing the whole event with Sanjay sir. And Sanjay sir, I am really thankful to you for allowing us, for giving us this wonderful platform. And my special thanks goes to Amrita Bharate. She is alumni from your institute. I will request Amrita, can you unmute yourself and start your video? Please say something because this is your institution. This is your sirs and your friends. Please say something.
Good evening to everybody. It's Sanjay sir, Raju sir, Kamendra Raj sir, Ram sir. It's very nice to reconnect with my college actually. Thank you, Sanjay sir, for giving us this opportunity. And thank you, students. Thank you, my juniors and students of the CSIT to come on this platform and have this discussion. Thank you, Kamendra sir, for such a nice presentation and telling us about the services of the IEPL. Thank you very much, and I'm eager and I'm very hopeful that we will be having again this sort of webinar. And of course, we will be helping the CSIT students to go abroad and have a nice career to them. Thanks a lot, Ram Pandey sir. Also.
Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you, Amrita. It was
Thanks.
really nice. Nice, Ram sir. Kamendra sir, it was really nice talking to you, all of you. It was a nice session and we definitely will appreciate.
Thank you.
Really,
Rest of things will be taken by Raju Nair sir. Raju sir.
really, sir, we CSIT family highly appreciate respected Kamendra Dahat sir for your valuable speech and very informative speech, which has motivated us a lot. And now, especially as I am concerned, I am trying to come abroad for a part-time. I have just planned. I was talking to Professor Sanjay Singh sir that we should seek some help from Kamendra sir that we will be coming for some part-time job over there.
Sure, sir. Anytime, anytime. You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, student, before concluding, I would like to say that we have so many universities and so many countries for you. Please be in touch with Sanjay sir and your actually college, so that we can arrange such beautiful programs in the future also. So thank you once again for taking out your time. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much, sir.
Kamendra
Thank you so much, sir. Ram sir, thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir.